how do you look at India's role in reforming the UN ahead?
I think more than India's role, if we use the perspective of India's image in the world,
Yes, sir.
we are already noticing enormous change the way world views India today. Now, from January this year, India is sitting as a non-permanent member in UN Security Council. And if you look at the secret ballot that gave India 184 votes out of 190 total number of nations in United Nations, that's an endorsement of how world sees India. Now, if difficulty lies in not being able to really amend the charter and create a position where India can be given a veto and a permanent seat, now those could be difficult challenges. But world is already viewing India in a very different fashion. India today is chair of the World Health Assembly, for example.
Yes.
Again, anticipations of how WHO will be transformed. India is largest producer of both healthcare workforce, medicines, and now vaccines. So world is viewing India in a very different fashion. I don't want to give any other comparisons as to how, what kind of voting happens when China is contesting for a position in, let us say, Human Rights Council. That's a good comparison. So how global nations are already indicating their view of each of these nations, which is already very different. So in that sense, for example, next door in Myanmar, there is a challenge.
Yes.
Not that single nation will be involved in these exercises. National sovereignty still remains the defining feature. I am not at all doubting that. But obviously, United Nations Security Council is today looking at either BIMSTEC or ASEAN as regional organizations to find a solution. So whether it is a pandemic or it is other challenges that we face, UN Security Council will be far too outstretched or overstretched to find solutions to every problem around the world, and therefore very often regional organizations can find much better solutions. So the Quadrilateral Leaders Summit, for example, in the middle of March, talked of creating a working group where United States innovation and finance can be provided to India's productivity of vaccine so that India will produce 1 billion vaccines
Yes.
for Indo-Pacific littoral. So how at the regional level some solutions can be found without undermining the United Nations Charter, without mining the national sovereignty, but reinterpreting, recalibrating innovative ways of finding solutions. And that is where I think India is emerging as a major player, because if pandemic makes health as a, I think in future there could be an international health council just like UN Security Council, because if
Yes.
health is the greatest challenge, then stakeholders in providing relief from health challenges would give India enormous weightage, because India may not have the veto power, but if there is an international health council which is equivalent of UN Security Council, you will automatically see that India's leverages are going to be very different in that sense. So if you cannot change United Nations, you can always add on new organs, you can provide new interpretations, you can skirt and find other strategies. That is where this increasing engagement with regional organizations is an important area to explore how United Nations can be empowered much more.
Absolutely. And of course,